Yes, people, big up to all of you. I appreciate you all. How many people do we have already? Not too many, but thank you to those of you who found time to join us this time. I think we're going to be streaming mainly during this time of the day until the transfer window opens or until I find another co-host so that we can be all that will help me make the load easier on me because I do the thumbnail, the write up, everything, the scheduling. But I think it will happen with time. I'm not just again in the hunt for anybody. I'm in the hunt for talent that will still keep up the standard that we have here on Just Perspective. But that's, by the way, I do hope you're all doing well. We don't have too much to talk about, but at the same time, I think we will talk quite a lot about the little what we have to talk about. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. All right, good people. Thank you once again to all of you for finding the time to join the show. I'm going to say hello to those of you in the chat before we start addressing the items we have lined up. We don't have too much lined up, but like as I said before, we will talk quite a lot about the little we have lined up, except if we see the need to end earlier and not go too long. We will do that. Yep, we will be the show will be during the date. You can say an hour earlier than this time because I came back late from church. That is on Sundays, but during weekdays it will be an hour early, like I said, 11 a.m. PST. That's just to make the load easier on me until I find co-hosts who'll be able to help make the load easier on me. Then all the shows, the design shows we have, you can say in the works or in the waiting to pick up, will all pick up. But that's right away. Let me say hello to those of you in the chat. I appreciate all of you. Ooh, the first person in the house today. It's my bro, Mitchell Boy, who recently joined the 1,000 subscribers gang. So if you haven't, go check out Mitchell Boy's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. I'd really appreciate that. Let's help him add some cushion to that number there. Where's Coach? There you go. You have Coach. Hosting the show. Thank God. Okay, Michi, how have you been? Happy? He said, thank God. Sick of watching the replays. Oh my gosh, the yeast is waffling. Listen, Michi, you know we have a plan in the works. We will bring back the Blue Alliance show, and I really do want you to be part of it. And we've talked about that. I think that will help your channel quite a lot. We've done the experimental aspect of the whole thing. We're having conversation now on how to make it better, and I'll bring you in as soon as possible. More importantly, nice to see you, brother. Do share the link to your channel whatever you can. Did you didn't know he did Sundays? Yep, we'll be doing. I think if he picks up again, I usually like taking breaks on Sundays. But because sometimes we do have games on Sundays, we have no option we'll have no option than to stream on Sundays. And I'll be doing lots of short videos these days. Mitch, you in love with yourself? That's funny, really. Hey, I'm doing well, JC. Nice to see you. Your scheduling is changing. Yep, I'm trying to find a perfect balance. We want consistency. We want sustainability. We don't want, you can say, sporadic streaming due to me not being able to do everything on my own. But I think we'll work that out as soon as possible. Now, just in case I can interact with the viewer on live streams, that goes along with Chilla. You're planning to scare us with that. Chusik, fans are still recovering PTSD. I think we'll be fine, bro. Just calm down. Coach, if you need co-hosts, where can I sign up? Reach out to me via Twitter. And here's the thing, I'll give you the secret. Don't be scared. I will find time to train you and get you equipment if you need one. If you can afford equipment, we'll help you with one. But the moment you decide you're not going to host for us anymore, we'll take it back. But if you help us host to a certain amount of, you can say, length of time, you keep the equipment. But hit me up via Twitter. Let's talk. We're looking for as many co-hosts as possible because we have two channels. We have 3 channels. One is automated, not football related. We don't need hosts there. But for soccer perspective and Chelsea perspective, we need as many hosts as possible. Just people saying hello there. Let's see what else we have here. And we have Namaya Fowler. I haven't seen you in a while. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. He says, hey, what's up? Is Reece James back, Badia Sheila and Nkunku with Lavia? Is it true we destroy Arsenal? We haven't actually played against them. Okay, you're saying if it is true. I don't think Houston and Nkunku will not be back until December. Lavia late October, and I don't see him playing a part in this particular game. You can say October 21st. I wouldn't consider that late October. Given that, yeah, he's been out for a while, and I don't think the manager will be in a rush to reintroduce him into the team. But that's, by the way, we'll move on from that one. We have JC here saying, what happened to Sunday church? Coach, I did go to church, and I'm dressed. This is how I dress to church, so I decided to do a show with it. What happened to Sunday church, Coach? You're wearing that exotic shirt on Sunday and skipping. No, I did not. I did go to church, especially now. The word is in a chaotic, you can say, should I say, situation. Prayer is needed to bring people together. When you say Twitter, you mean X. Yes, I do mean X. It would take a while before I start calling it Twitter. Yep, just hit me up there. We'll talk. I will find time to train you. If you don't have equipment, we can help you get affordable equipment. And remember, I've said this before. And you actually, it depends. If you want to start your own show on Chelsea perspective or Soccer perspective, we can help you do that, and we'll tell you what you can gain from it. But that's, by the way, struggling with a job role change. Let's see ask him that question. It's getting easier. Let's see, manager. Okay, manager change. Is a disastrous Disasi still out injured? I wouldn't call him disastrous. It took him time to pick up, but I think he's settling in well. He's a fine defender, in my opinion. But if I had to choose between him and what's his name, bad boy Benoit Badiashile, I would take Badiashile anytime, any day. He might not be as physical as Axel Disasi. But he's to me, he's a more intelligent of the two players. He's also good at picking up passes and all that. But we shouldn't be comparing them. I'd say we're blessed to have them both. Both are good players, and on there they will serve as well. The Sassi is injured too, Coach. I heard that, but I think he was called up for France for the French national team assignment, and then he returned back to Chelsea. And we were told that it is nothing serious, that he'd be all right. I hope that's the case. But if he isn't, I'm quite sure that, what's his name, the bad boy Benoit Badiashile will be ready to come in and do a good enough job in the Sassi's absence, or maybe an even better job. But I don't think we should be comparing them both. Hopefully that's not the case, because Badiashile coming in, which means there'll be a chemistry issue in the back line because he hasn't played for a while, and he hasn't actually played with he hasn't been paired with what's his name, Levi Colwell before. But we'll find out. The wrong god of frogs, you think? The wrong one, possibly. Impersonation, but possibly. Mitch McConnell is in the house. Mitch voice, my bro. Don't call him that. Kwasi Kwenyere, I don't know if maybe Kwasi Nyere. Big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. Let's see. Trevor Baresi is better than Disasi. I think they differ in so many ways, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. We should look for players who's fully fit, not getting injured. I can assure you that Disasi will be ready. His injury record is nothing to be concerned about. He hardly gets injured, actually. He hardly. I think I've heard something to the effect of him. The only time he's missed games was when he was out with COVID. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not too concerned. This says God of Waffling, the East, right? The Sassi is just carrying a knock. I think he'd be ready. That's right. We move on from that. Let's see the next item we have lined up here. We go to it and start addressing them one by one. Give me a second. Am I mixing things up here? No, I'm not. So the first item here is saying that Ian Maatsen needs to extend his contract or he could be sold. I don't know. I would say definitely he will be sold in January. Because he'd have just about a year left on his contract. If he refuses to put pen to paper, which I don't blame him, there are, in my opinion, there are two, you can say, main reasons why. I'm not too sure. Let me just say the main reason why he's refused to sign the new contract that the club or hearing has on the table for him is because he wants to be sure where his future lies. It's not right now. If I were the kid, in all honesty, I don't trust Chelsea right now. It doesn't look like all indication is that the manager don't see him as a left back, which is you could argue where he belongs, or left wing back at most. The manager sees him as a midfielder, and in that midfield area, attacking midfield area, we have numbers there, especially when Nkunku comes back. We have Cole Palmer. We have you can say even if you're talking about the right wing or left wing, we still have Leslie Ugochukwu, we have Mihailo Mudryk. So there's no space for him there, which means most likely he'd end up leaving. And except if things change and change like this as quickly as possible, then he'd reconsider putting then he'd consider putting pen to paper for a new long-term contract at Chelsea. To me, it just seems as if we're trying to get him to sign a new long-term contract so that when we get to sell him, we get a sizable fee from his sale. Right now, certainly there's no place for him in this team, in my opinion, as good as I know that he can be, unfortunately. Which leads to that what we've talked about already here. I think a few days ago, where I told people, look, the way I'm seeing it, the rumors that we're interested in signing Theo Hernandez, and then what's the other guy that I can't remember his name, the Inter Milan left back. It makes sense. Why do I say that? Ben Chilwell is hardly available for selection. He gets injured. He plays 1, 2, 3 games, and by the time the fourth game comes around, he's out injured, and it's been like that for 3 seasons in a row. So I wouldn't trust him either if I'm the manager. Then if you're talking about Marco Correa, yeah, he's been excellent for us in the right back position. But yeah, do I think he has a place in this team? The manager trusts Ben Chilwell than him, and even trusts playing Levi Cohen in the left back position than Marco Correa. And something else that's led me to strongly believe, that the club will let Correa, they will sell him in January, is his salary. The pattern from what we're seeing is that the club, they're trying to cut costs in terms of from player overall salary. I think, yeah. So if any club comes in with a sizable fee in January, I think the club will let him go and then go for those names we've talked about, either Theo Hernandez from AC Milan or the Inter Milan left back. Apologies, I can't recall his name right now. But we move on from that. The Sassi is just carrying a knock. So yeah, he will be fine. Let's see why when he extend his contract and when he's not leaving. Yeah, he has to be sure. He doesn't want a situation where he puts pen to paper for a new long-term contract, and then when a club comes in January, Chelsea will be asking the interested club an arm and a leg, and then it becomes difficult for him to leave. So he practically will be stuck with us. In my opinion, Maatsen is a learning Spanish coach. He would refuse to sign any deal, except if his situation changes and changes like this as quickly as possible. Otherwise, he's going to leave. He will refuse any deal until he can roll on free to sign on bonus and all that. That may well be the case, but I think the club will push him out in January. They're not going to risk it. They're going to force him out, or otherwise, you've heard the club say that, but it's not going to be easy. It will become even more messy. Let's see. Big up to you, Ty. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I hope you're doing well and you know what to do. I don't have to be the one to be reading it out for you. Sesko in Leipzig or Simham will try. Rumors are that we're also interested in signing Benjamin Sesko and Victor Osimhen. Osimhen will not come cheap. And here's the thing. I'm going to say this again. I think it was AD that brought my attention to that when he spoke. He did say something, something to the effect of the club would not want a situation that have a Victor Osimhen They have Nicholas Jackson, and both will leave in January for AFCON. It just doesn't make sense. So if we're going to sign any attacker in January, and Chelsea pushing to sign a striker in January comes down to how well Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku and Amanda Broya, the three of them, how well they do by the time we get to January. If they do well and the scoring goes in, we're getting goals from every department on the pitch, the wingers, the midfielders, the defenders, then I don't think the club will be spending premium to sign a striker. I even mentioned Gurasi, and I think the Gabon international, but it still doesn't make sense. And here's the thing, let me be specific. I don't think the club will look to sign a striker and then sign an African striker in January. Already, we have the problem of Nicholas Jackson leaving for AFCON in January. We don't want that number to grow, if that makes sense. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Football Kings, let's see. Chip Chiller, and that's from Constantin Dante. Or you can call him Yap N'Golo Dante. And Football Kings, I don't know why. I think because you use all caps. That was why Nightbot deleted your messages. Apologies for that. Just refrain from using all caps when typing. Then why did he not leave in the summer? Because probably the manager convinced him that he has a place in this team. And maybe he wanted to see, you could say, to stay and see what happens. I don't think he's deliberately planning on leaving as a free agent. I think the manager convinced him. Happy Sunday to you too, Ty. And Ty has shared the link to his YouTube channel. See it there. Please go check it out. Let's help him add some cushion to the numbers he already has there. And let's see, Jackson is playing for his country next year, definitely. And even if they missed out the upcoming edition, they're not going to miss too many. They're Senegal. They have the quality to always be there, to always participate in every AFCON competition. And Ty says to subscribe to Chelsea Sessions, aiming for 1,100 subscribers and 2K. So please go check it out, all of you in the chat. Jackson is playing, yep, definitely. And when the state of Qatar could not push out Mbappe, how do Bali pushing Maatsen? How do you think I don't know the possibility. I agree. Ibali gives that gangster look, but still don't think he can push him out. I get it. You can't force a player to leave if they don't want to leave. But let's see what happens. I think the kid is either he signs or he leaves in January. Let's see what else we have here. My name still hasn't changed. It's still Constantin Dante. Much love to you, brother. I appreciate all the support I get from you. And Obi Kerenke Obi. Obi, nice to see you, brother. Obi Madogba. Much love to you, brother. 21:42 p.m. CET. But I must join to say hi to everyone. Hello to you too, brother. Much love. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what else we have here. How's everyone doing? Well, all good. All good. I've missed banter. Yep. I like to see you guys slug it out there in the chat section. I don't see the comments you're finding on the X post. I'm not seeing. I'm not sure what you're saying there. I know you've sent the. Is it you, Tom G? Let me ask you this. Chelsea, are you the one that messaged me via tweet X about the co-host roles available? We need Osimhen to replace Nkunku if he's injured again. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this. I'm quite sure that as Nigerians will say, our Chief Zabodai himself, come rain, come thunder. I'm quite sure that Mauricio Pochettino will choose, if it comes to that, Pochettino will choose Nkunku over Victor Osimhen. That's not because Osimhen is not a good striker, and that's because who Mauricio Pochettino, I believe he is, in my opinion. Saw the Pies young boy is doing well for Ecuador. What a talent. I'm glad we got that one over the line. What a player he will be for us in the future. Got an excellent goal. An assist from Moises Caicedo, who got 2 assists on the day. Constipated Dante. Coach, do you still have mob in the US? Igbali certainly looks like a member. I don't know. It's not something I've been paying attention to. And is anybody sick? Is anybody saying they're not well? Did I miss something there? Please let me know. Yep, you're Tom G. Okay, I'll get back to you in a bit. Okay, Flu, Constantine, Dante. Sorry to hear that, bro. Get better soon. And hopefully, you're vaccinated against that. It's a yearly thing. It comes and it goes. And again, I hope you're properly you're prepared for it. In terms of being well, you can say getting the vaccination. On demand. Okay, let's see. Okay, coach. Okay, to you too. And the Chimera is in the house, and now you're calling me Chip Chillat because yeah, that's what that started. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Let's see what else we have to talk about here. And we have the blue Tiffle game. He's saying, wow, coach, I'm so glad you took my advice and stopped the list to provide us with this bonus content. God blessings are coming your way. I take the blessings, amen. Even though I don't like you, but if you pray for me, I'll take that. The blue to forget. Much love to you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join in. My brother, my other brother from the Matiba land, Tobago. Love you so much, bro. Big up. Hit the like button. Please do subscribe. Let's get the likes up. And Tobago and Jeri Zee released a video. I think you have to go watch it. You all know Jeri Zee knows Pochettino very well. So I haven't watched it, but the title gives it away. I think Tomeho, you should share the link to that particular video so people can go check it out. They're talking about why Chelsea fans should be patient with Mauricio Pochettino and the team overall. And I can assure you, Jeri Zee probably does, again, in that video, I can assure you he talked about he talked about how where Chelsea will finish, and he's been confident about that, and he backs his argument up with numbers, and they say numbers don't lie. So Tobeho, when you get a chance, share the link to that. I saw that Lavia is not close to being fit. Lavia should be back. I think we heard November, or is it like October ending? But be rest assured, Pochettino is not the sort of manager that will rush a players back. I think he will take his time to integrate him, because I don't think it'd be correct to use the word or the term reintegrate, because he hasn't actually played a single game for us. Didn't get preseason with us and all that. So he will take a while, because even if he recovers fully, he has to train with the team for a while to get to understand how the manager likes to approach the game and all that. Was that some bad business by us? No, I am not going to say that. I think he's a talent, and I think he will come good. Yep, you know that. He's still 19, but I think he's got enough experience that I trust him. I get the flu shot every year. Last time I was sick was like 6-7 years ago, but this year twice now. Weird. Yeah, and be sure it's not the dreaded C word. But I'll be praying for you, brother. And he shared the link to that particular video. I'm sure it will be delicious. Go check it out. Watch, and I'm quite sure you're not going to regret it. Go check it out. This is the video. Thank you. Make sure you watch it. Make sure you drop a like on the video so that you can help them trigger the YouTube algorithm to push the video to more people who'd be interested in learning why they should trust the process. They should believe in Mauricio Pochettino and the team because they will come good. Yeah, let's see. These are flu. Okay, let's move on from that before the channel gets, you can say, they would think we're talking about something else. Get well, Dante. We'll love you here. And Ty, I don't know, you've heard us again talk for about 27 minutes right now. I don't know if you have anything you want to talk about before we start addressing the items we have lined up there. The next
Yeah,
item. Up.
I like the fact that you just structure that as address. I like to address what you're wearing.
Oh my, Ty, go ahead,
I
address
love
it,
the
bro.
colors, man.
Address it.
I love the colors, man. You have style. You have
Thank
style.
you. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. My mom came back with that from Africa, so yeah, I like it. But thank you for saying that, brother. You have anything else you want to talk about, or should I just move on? When we get to the items, you can chip in whenever you have time.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, let's go. Will Reece James be available for Arsenal game on the 21st? Do you know, coach? I've seen conflicting reports. Some are saying he's not going to be ready. Some are saying he'll be ready. I'm not too sure. Hopefully he is. Even if it's not, I think we're fine in that department. And I'd rather Reece James take his time and not be rushed back against Arsenal. I get it offensively. Probably he'd add more to the game for us. But Kukurea has proven, even though his approach to the game comes across as erratic, but he finds a way to unsettle the opposition player, and I like that. So I wouldn't even mind Kukurea continuing in the right back position. But we're not too sure about Reece James when he gets to play again. Let's see. Get well soon, Dante. Much love to you. That I'm jealous there, but that's why I love our community here. Slow down on the. Just go away. Dante, no need to fight today. Yep. Reserve your energy. Kachila, it's more interesting to discuss rather than Maatsen's contract. Not really, but because we're here to talk football. But one of us in Constantine Dante isn't feeling well. We had to, you could say, talk about how let him know that we'll love him and wish him quick recovery and all that, but we don't have to let it deviate and lead us down that path of, you can say, before you know, we start talking about the dreaded V word, a C word, and then get into trouble. Rhys James, let's see what else we have. Martinelli will smoke cooker. I don't think so. I think he will settle him. He's dealt with Mitoma or Mitoma. I don't know which one is the correct pronunciation. He's dealt with even, you could say, even more trickier customers. If anything, Martinelli is his pace. I'm not too concerned about his dribbling ability. I think we should be able to deal with him. We must keep Saka and Jesus a quiet coach. Without Odegaard, Jesus, he's been quite lucky against us. It just seems as every time he plays against us, he gets to score. And just quickly, I want to appeal to those of you who are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat. Just know that we appreciate you, and we'd appreciate it if you can take a second or two to drop a like on the stream. That will go a long way for us. We'd really appreciate that. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, we must keep him at bay. Chelsea FC have the biggest hospital for a reason. Just go away. Obi, who told you Michael Correa will play? I think he will play. If Reece James isn't fully ready, I think he will play. Consistency matters. You don't make changes like that in the defensive line. N'Golo Dante, who's going to partner me in a midfield against Roy Coach King. Yeah, he can be a dirty player who keeps VAR very busy. I'm just added it to our long intro. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're known for. But that's right away. We'll move on. I don't know. Oladipo Mesole. I don't know. Do you have anything to add to what you've heard us talk about, or do you think we should move on? Let's hear you. It looks like your audio, you're trying to speak, but your audio isn't working. I'm quite sure that's the case. I have to play. I play injured. You play on all the wheels fall off before you give up. I prefer Malo Gusto right back. Silva will keep Rice quiet. I hope so. I hope they don't target him, because if they target him, I think he will be forced to make a costly mistake on the day. I hope it doesn't turn out that way. Let's see. We'll move on to the next item we have lined up here. Just give me 1 second. We've talked about this. Ian Maatsen, his situation at Chelsea. It's complicated. It's not that simple. I don't know, Jude. Do you have anything to say about that, Oladipo, about Ian Maatsen's Chelsea future? Let's hear you if you're there.
Okay, good afternoon, Coach. Good afternoon, everyone.
Greetings, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for yesterday. Yeah, Maatsen, I'm really concerned about him because that guy, I see an intelligent footballer in him, and I don't want Chelsea to lose him at all. Because if he's not happy, first of all, I'm happy with the fact that Pochettino is seeing him more like somebody who can play up front. You see, when
that's actually where the problem is. There's no space there. If we're being honest to ourselves, I don't think there's a place for him there. But you go ahead.
Yeah, but because a lot of players would really love to be up front, and they get excited when they get converted. But in a situation whereby there is no space for him there, I think the coach should also allow him play his natural left back. Because if you check it now, Ben Chilwell is not going to be very fit consistently. Cucurella is trying, but then we can't just depend on Cucurella alone. So Ben Chilwell might eventually turn out to be this kind of Rolls Royce footballer, where you just have to use them on big games and not all the time. The same thing I fear might happen to Reece James too, because when a player begins to get injured consistently, you don't want to be playing them unnecessarily. So I think Maatsen should be getting more game time, even at left back, because you are right. If Nkuku comes back and everybody is fit, he will not even have a space in front. So, but I don't know why the coach is not really giving him that chance, and I really don't want us to lose that guy, because we will definitely regret losing him if we do.
I hope we don't lose him. I'll come to Jeri Zee in a bit if he has anything to say with regards to Ian Maatsen's future. It's complicated. It's not as simple as because a lot of people think it is. Malo Gusto is decent, but his crossing is abysmal. Here's the thing. I think he can do better. I'm not sure what happened. I think we've seen flashes of his crossing ability. And one thing I like about his crossing is that he crosses with intent. He's not one of those that just you can say put the ball in the box. He tries to pick out his teammates inside the box, even in situations where you have a crowd of players there. But let's see. I think he will improve. And let's not forget, Gusto is just 19. If at most he'd be 20, but right now I think he's just 19. But let's see what else we have here. Malo Gusto is decent. You can say that he's a fine player. He's still very young. Let's not forget that. The fact that we signed him and paid that much money for him doesn't mean you can say he's a finished article. He's not yet. We win because if Havertz plays, here's the thing. Don't be surprised if Havertz plays. You see him be at his best. Let's see what else we have here. I wonder if Poch would prefer Cuckoo from now on, because it doesn't go forward and probably does a lot defensively, even though he has it in him to be as offensive as we expect him to be. But we're not too sure what's going to happen until Poch, you can say, does whatever he does, and we'll find out. We don't have too much to work with in terms of what predicting what he'd do next. Gusto must rest. His back from suspension. I don't think he needs to rest. But Mark does better interpasses and interplays with the forward players. Gusto runs forward and makes a bad cross. He makes good runs. In terms of Marco Correa, I agree with you. He's very, very good at picking passes, finding passing lanes where you don't know one exists. And that's where he differs from Ben Chilwell. And that's what he has over Ben Chilwell, in my opinion. Let's see anything else. What we have here. Chilwell isn't a miss. I'd say that too. I do agree with you. In my opinion, we can do without him, but a lot of people think otherwise. People just having conversations there. Let's see. I agree. Let's give him some more game time in the Carabao Cup. Let's try that and see how what happens there. Kachila, what are those digital themes on your wall? Although I don't like a ChatGPT that much, still a much better job than Pulisic. Wow. Yeah. It's not digital. It's just it's called, I think, soundproof, but it's just design up version of it. It just helps. I'm not again. I can't take the time off the show now to start describing how it works. But I liked it, and I still do more with it in here. We keep growing. My mind is made up about him. I lost trust. You shouldn't. He's just 19. I don't think you should. Pachila, what are those digital theme on your wall? Although I don't like ChatGPT, did Jeri hand those? Yeah, Jeri helped me put those up because he's my friend. Still a much better job than Pulisic. I know where you drive, what you're driving, but I'm not going to even mention it. Yep, Obi is entitled to his opinion, and you respect that. Good. If any offer comes in of a Chilwell, Gallagher, and even James, we should consider them. Availability is the best ability. I agree with you. We are looking at north of 180 million for all three. Is what I'm afraid. Here's the thing. I think they will give what's his name, Reece James, more time. Then if it becomes you can say if next season it happens again, probably they will consider selling him. And the concerning thing is that James has actually gone on the knife, hasn't he? He's gone under the knife, and he's still. You said maybe he's suffered variations of injuries, not one, not that a particular injury has been repeating. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not well acquainted with this situation, the sort of injuries he suffered. but it's become a concern. I have to be very honest. As much as I love him, as much as I think he's one of the best players we have within our ranks, I'm still concerned on the fact that he plays 1, 2, 3, 4 games, and by the time we get to the 5th game, he's out. And there was a concerning statistics that somebody shared with us a while ago that showed he's actually been out more than he's played, and that's a concern. Really, I have to be honest with you. Yep, add Starling to that, add Starling to that list, but keep James. I think James, they will give him time than any of those players, and Starling may well, you can say, earn himself a place in this team and last longer than Constantine Dante would love, and Roger. All that, brother. I think he knows. Obi, do not worry. One day, I think. Yeah, Tobeho knows it's all love. We're having a conversation here, and we're all entitled to our respective opinions. Also, Maatsen and Chaluba, we could raise a lot of money from selling both. Chaluba most certainly, we've heard that he will leave, and I'm quite sure it's just something as if the club is just trying to get Maatsen to put pen to paper for a new contract, and so that they'd be able to get a sizable transfer fee come January, not because they really want to keep him. I'm quite sure. I'm thinking that's the case. Good evening to you too, Samic Telecom Nigeria. Coach, well done for this program. I missed 90% of your show in the past 2 months now due to my tight schedule. Here's the thing, I understand you don't earn anything from participating in the show except that you enjoy it. And bills don't pay themselves, brother. We understand that. So no worries. More importantly, it's good to hear that you've been busy, not that you're being sick. Okay, so yeah, keep being busy, bro. Coach, look at James's injury stats. They are staggering. They are concerning. And I did mention you just did a tapping on me. You did a tapping on me. And I did mention somebody presenting us with a concerning statistics showing he's been out more than he's played, unfortunately. But he's such a good player that even if he played 3 times, he'd still say, let's keep him. Unfortunately, yep. But you just did a tapping on me, so a yellow card. I don't doubt Pulisic's ability on the ball pitch. The area of concern was this. I'm not, I'm not doing that with you. Why can't we sell Wesley Fofana? If you try to sell him now, you'd probably be selling him. You can say around 70% short of how much you paid for him. So he has to play, and yeah, you can say get the clubs to be interested in signing him. He's still a Chelsea player and will not be back until 2024, and there's a chance he will miss the entirety of this season. I hope that's not the case because there's a good player in him. We have good cover for James now. We should really get. He should get a surgery, yeah, and you can say deal with the situation once and for all. But I thought, no, I think he's gone under the knife already. If maybe, as I've argued before, he's had variations of injuries, not a particular injury repeat, and that may well be the case. We do have good cover for him. Seriously, I think our FFP concerns are well behind us. Yeah, even I was never concerned about FFP. I knew as we sell players, the club's priority would be to balance books and not spend everything they made from player sales on the transfer market. No, I knew that before time. He's injured until next month. Coach, if I didn't tap in that, he would have gone for a throw-in. Okay, take it. Yeah, let's see what else we have here. If he doesn't get surgery, he will keep getting injured. The question is, he's gone under the knife. Correct me if I'm wrong. Before World Cup, didn't he? At least with the surgery, has a higher success. You stand the chance of correcting the issue permanently, but I think he's gone under the knife. And the question is, do the injuries vary? Do they vary? That's where the question lies. Assad, Dude has been injured since I heard his name. Unfortunately, you could argue that. What's with Lewis? Was sent to Newcastle. Was it a loan? I think he was sold. He wanted to leave. More importantly, Lewis Hall wanted to leave. The club wanted to send him out.
It's a loan, but it's essentially going to be a sale because it's an obligation to buy.
Yeah, it's an obligation to buy. I think we agreed to that structure because Newcastle, they didn't want to get into trouble with the FFP. So in a way, we helped them. But at the same time, more importantly, Lewis Hall wanted to leave. Jeri Zee, I don't know. Let me start with Ty. Ty, have you spoken about Ian Maatsen's situation?
I haven't. Not, at least not here.
Okay, let's hear you. Let's hear
Uh,
you.
yeah, it's one that is yeah, it's one that is very concerning in my opinion because he's a quality player and he needs to extend his contract unless we have to sell him or we lose him on a permanent. So
Mhm.
it's concerning. But when the factors that you take into consideration, such as the fact that there are players or perhaps ahead of him in the pecking order, and in terms of him playing in a more advanced role, there's not much of a space for him there unless you're
Mhm.
rotating. And I mean, right now it's not the best time to be rotating. You need to find consistency and find something that will work first and foremost. So in terms of that, I can understand perhaps why he hasn't put pen to paper, because it could be another Levi Cole situation where he wants to be given some sort of assurance that there is a place for him if he's going to stay. And obviously, we did see the fact that he stayed and it was up to him and he was persuaded. So I think it's about consistency and him perhaps seeing some sort of pathway for him for him to
Mhm.
progress in the team. So that is one thing. But it is concerning because as some people have shared their sentiments, I'd rather not lose the player because he is a quality player and he has great potential. He's still young, still has development that is required, but he's a good player and he has great promise as well.
Yeah, it's a concerning situation. Unfortunately, I think the manager convinced him to stay. That's how I see it. Jeri Zee, if you want to weigh into the Ian Maatsen situation, let's hear you. What do you make of it? And Ty, clearly, I think you've alluded to that. It doesn't look like he has a place in this team, except if the fact, because we don't have numbers in terms of the left back area. Benchwell is hardly uh, is available for selection. The manager doesn't trust Mark Korea. Maybe, but until that happens, we don't know. He only sees him as a midfielder. But let's hear you, Jeri Zee. What do you make of his situation at Chelsea?
Good evening, coach.
A big up to you, brother. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great. Yeah, so it's a very straightforward situation with Ian Madsen. If there are two things that we can look in, there are two things to consider, right? The one thing is the
Mhm.
financial aspect. If you look into the financial aspect, and if you are unable to sign him or sell him, in both cases, so we will have a big hit on the financial side, right? So in case he's not signing or it doesn't go through the deal or whatever, because of whatever reason, it's either Chelsea because they are not using him or playing him because
Mhm.
of the situation, because of the players who are already available to us, right? So I just saw a news article from Goal that he is also linked, according to them, right? He's linked with Barcelona and they want to sign him next summer. I'm sure we will have all these news coming regularly. So as far as his loss is concerned as a player, I'm not concerned, honestly. I'm very blunt about this. I'm not concerned in this regard that we already have a very, very, very talented squad, right? And many players will be coming back from injury. So this is the last thing that will bother me or that I'm concerned with. Of course, he's talented, he's young, right? But so
Mhm.
are other players in our squad. We already have a lot of players, right? So I would have been concerned if he was already playing, right? And the coach has a plan for him. So we haven't seen him in the team, right? And whenever he has played in different positions. So in that aspect, in footballing aspect, I don't see a miss. Of course, we can always talk about the future and how he develop. He can become a superstar. That's another thing. We have already a lot of very talented players on our squad. So the
Mhm.
most important thing for me is either simple as that: get him to sign a deal, convince him, find a way, or sell him in January. So the only issue is the financial hit that we can take if he goes for free next summer.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Before I give those in the chat the microphone again, if we're being honest to ourselves, if he senses that he has no place in this team, you could say by this time I think he should know he has no place in this team. Except if things change, and I don't see that happening, I think he will never sign a new contract. Um, and the beautiful game says the coach Real Madrid have legitimate interest in him. We need to start looking for a replacement. Start preparing right wing back uh, or right back contact. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this, even though I think Constantin Dante he said something down further there after Hazard. I doubt Real Madrid will sign another player from Chelsea, especially one that's clearly injury prone at this point. He can maybe in the future overcome that, but it's concerning. His injury record is concerning, really, if we're being truthful. I don't think Madrid, given Hazard's PTSD, will come sign a player from Chelsea, especially one that's hardly fit. That's how I see it. My take on the right back for the upcoming game with Arsenal, James isn't match fit yet. I see it like that too. I mean, he hasn't trained enough yet, and I believe Poch is going to play Gusto there, while Cucurella plays at left back. You could argue, every year he's out 2-3 months with hamstring injury. Okay, so you're saying it's the same issue. So maybe he should go under the knife to correct that one. But correct me if I'm wrong, didn't James go under the knife before World Cup? So maybe for a different issue, not the hamstring.
Yes,
he did, right? For a different issue, right?
I think it was a knee. Was it a knee surgery?
Possibly a knee at the time. Yeah. But let's see.
Something's not
Coach,
right.
on a serious note, it is strange that we have many players injured over the last 2 years. I gather we played a lot of games in 2021, but why these injuries are still happening? You can say you're arguing this at a time where we have nearly all our injured players on the verge of returning. So yeah, but I get your argument. It's baffling, really. Hamstring or cheese string, whatever it is. Onedikachi, nice to see you, brother. Good evening, coach. I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Please do let us know that you're fine. After Hazard, I doubt Real Madrid will sign another Chelsea player. Especially one that's injury prone. You just did a spiritual tap-in. You can say futuristic tap-in for me there. But I read it. I saw it on time. I didn't want to do a tap-in on you. After Hazard, I think I agree. Dante, they wanted Havertz before. They wanted him for cheap. They think they were going to get him for cheap. That was why they pushed. And when they saw we weren't ready to let him go for peanuts, that was why when they turned around. And kudos to the owners, they did a good job not accepting peanuts for Havertz because we paid quite a lot for him. Real Madrid are still players on free transfers in recent history. Let's not forget Rudiger. Yeah, they do that. Barcelona do that too. They just tap the player up. Is Colwell a permanent fixture at left back then? Most likely. And why do I say in the case? And that's why. That's because he played in the same position for England. 90 minutes, the whole 90 minutes. And Jeri Zee, when you get a chance, can you get the link to that recording you did with Tobejo and share it in the chat so people can go check it out. Injured prone player, I said that on a free I'm not too sure what they're willing to risk. One of the best right back in the world when he can make it on the pitch. Yep, Rich James. He's an excellent player, honestly. Carries a goal threat also. A good passer of the ball, good dribbler, good defender. He's a complete right fullback, in my opinion. I don't think James ever got a surgery on hamstring. I think Ty said it was probably a knee issue then. I'm not sure whether, again, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not know whether you need to get a surgery for a hamstring. Big up to you to Chelsea Blue.
Yes,
what's
the knee. It was a knee
right now? Sorry?
It was the knee, yeah.
It was a knee, okay, yeah. So
the pelvic bone injury. No, that's not him. No. My apologies. So, he had a surgery on a knee injury.
Okay, before World Cup. So yeah, he's had variations of injuries. Pre-World Cup, he went under the knife for a different issue. He had to. But now the hamstring injury has been repeating. So hopefully he finds a permanent solution for that.
You know what? There's a science to that, though. There's some science to that.
Go ahead. Enlighten us, Ty.
Yeah, there's some science behind it because your hamstring, obviously, your hamstring is lower than your kneecap or your knee. So obviously, it's not below, it's above it. That's what I should say. So in a sense, that could be one of the factors that's leading to it. So yes, he had knee pain, but the problem could quite easily be the hamstring because there's something called hamstring tendon. I don't want to butcher the word, tendonitis, which is obviously a tendon. So in terms of the if it's a case where his hamstring is a problem, then it's gonna cause knee problems and it's gonna cause knee pain. So I'm wondering,
Mhm.
yes, he had that surgery for knee pain, but could it be his hamstring that is the long term issue? Because I mean, the hamstring
You can say,
is,
do you mean like the underlying issue?
yeah, I think that's perhaps the reason. The reason, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not certified as a doctor, so I
Mhm.
could be wrong. And obviously, they would have done X-rays or MRIs or things to ensure that there are things to. They do basically the procedures to ensure that they would find out what the problem is. So, I could be grasping at straws, but I just wonder because the hamstring can cause knee pain as well. Yeah,
Hmm.
and the beautiful game has put the correct word in there. I was butchering the name. Tendonist.
He had to call you out. That's his thing. I don't like him. Coach, I realize we're talking about injuries. It's a new pattern with the young players too. Many games in their body structure is not ready for the intense training as well. Wow, that is some. You can say that's some comment right there. And I think what JC did mention with regards to the older players getting injured, I think that's it's understandable that the amount of game we played on the Thomas Tuchel at the time may well have led to a lot of the players getting injured. But in the case of Reece James, there's a pattern. Ben Chilwell, there's a pattern, but others, yeah.
Wanted to
Yeah,
add one
yeah,
thing.
coach. Okay, sorry.
Yes, sorry. Please go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, like if you
Jerry
see,
Z is letting you go ahead because he's a co-host.
oh, sorry. Okay, thank you.
No, no,
If you
no, you don't have to say sorry. Go
if you
ahead.
see Manchester City, they're about having the same problem too
Mhm.
because they had series of games last season. So Manchester City too is beginning to suffer with injury crisis now gradually, and even what's his name? The coach Pep was referring to it as an excuse for them to have lost to Arsenal because they lost 2 matches in a row. So yeah,
And that
just to
hasn't happened in a while.
yeah, just to support what you said earlier that they did it, they played a lot of games under Tuchel. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Let's hear you, Jerry Z.
Yeah, I was just I wanted to add that when with this comment from Chelsea Blue, right, about the injuries. So I think this is a possibility. Of course, we are just assuming, and all of us are trying to establish a narrative or a fact, sorry, or a pattern that why these injuries are happening, because this is something that is very discreet, and until and unless we don't have the information, we are not sure. So what I'm trying to say is that in the last year, in the last season, under
Mhm.
Potter and Lampard, we all know that with the reports that we have, that the training were not intense, right? And it was not so intense. The training regime was not at par. With Pochettino, right? The training is one of the most intense training in all of Europe. So I believe because usually what happened is in any sport, if a player for a longer time, right, and 1 year,
Mhm.
1 season is is a very long time. If they're not used to such intense training, and then they have a preseason, and with the intense training that they had under Pochettino, it is a huge possibility that I'm not talking about all of the injuries, but some of the injuries, maybe half of the injuries or whatever, could be a result of players not adapting to the to the training methodology or the regime. I'm not blaming Poch. Let me be clear. I'm not blaming Poch. I'm just saying that the players, their body were not used to handle such intense training. It happens. It's not something very complex. What I'm saying, it happens, and it could be a possibility. So again, we don't know because we are not there. We don't have the information. So I think this could be a reason.
No, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you coming in, and I appreciate you also behaving like a co-host and giving them opportunity to speak. But you're good at this, Jerry, and I appreciate that. A lot of people want to force themselves in and make their opinion before allowing others to speak. Coach, we
Yes,
have to
Jerry Z.
remember that a season when Chile and James got injured at the same time, and it destroyed our season. That has actually happened on 2 occasions, hasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. We cannot let this happen again. It's a huge risk, and I'm glad even before Chile got injured, Pochettino has showed. He's not his. You can say the starting player. He's not the starting player that a lot of people see him to be at Chelsea right now. Tendonitis. I don't know. Please don't get me to try to pronounce any medical terms there. Constantin Dante is saying he doesn't want to get her surgery as riskier and out much longer. It's a risky procedure, but can fix it permanently and deal with it. And it will never comes back. It never comes back. Otherwise, every year he will be out. Is it worth the risk? I'm not sure whether it's what he needs to deal with it and deal with it permanently and be out for a long time as long as they deal with the situation. Coach, remember youth team training or minor league training compared to first 11 training is two extremes. Wow, we're learning quite a lot today. Facts, Dante. Let's see. Chilwell, same problem actually. Just ask Gallagher to share whatever mess is taken with the other players because he never gets injured. And Gallagher actually has 9 lives. I think every time I talk about him, I remember the fact that he had something, a correctional surgery that has to do with his heart or something. I can't quite remember, but he survived that. He came back from that and still playing football. And as active as he is, again, you see him be whenever he's on the pitch. That's something to actually think about and give him credit. Yeah, Gallagher should just donate his Samsung to Reese. Yeah, I get it. Yes, I am a fine, coach. Just that my phone had an issue. Okay, glad you fixed it. Let's see. Please remove the barbecue from Hospital Garden. Let's see. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up here. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. So far, it's been an enjoyable show. Hopefully, we'll round up as soon as possible to go. Yeah, as Nigerians will say, go eat Sunday rice. Let's see. All right, this one here. You wanted to say something, Ty? My Sunday rice.
And then he said a joke about eating Sunday rice.
Okay, this one here says the idea remains the same at Chelsea, and Trevor Chalobah has not been frozen out. Yep, he's just not fully fit. I get that aspect. But the expectation is that he will go in January. Ian Maatsen's situation has not changed. Sign a new contract, a new deal, or be sold. Chelsea doesn't want to lose him on a free transfer, but probably will end up selling him again for cheap. Again, had we sold him during the summer, I think would get more money from selling him than we get in January. But because January he'd be a lot cheaper. Otherwise, yeah, we can force him to stay against the switch and end up living as a free agent. Here's the thing: it's a very complicated situation. In the case of Trevor Chalobah, I think I'm learning something here. There's a pattern here. The moment the new ownership senses that a particular player wants to leave, they don't look back. They find a way to sell that a player. I think that's how I see it. Jude, a lot of people, let's hear you. What do you think? I think that has been the case so far. All the players were sold. If they try to keep you and you indicate to any measure that you want to leave, they don't push to keep you anymore. Let's hear you.
Yes, you are correct because initially when Tuku was there, CHO wanted to leave, and then they had a talk with him. And he went on loan, and unfortunately, he didn't show any sign of improvement. But after then, one of the reasons is the coach himself, Pochettino, does not want any player who doesn't want to stay in the team. So I think that's one of the reasons why the owners looks very brutal once a player wants to leave. But I think it's a case of someone like Chalobah and Ian Maatsen. I think it goes down to the fact that if they are able to get playing time, they would stay. If you see someone like Chalobah, while under Tuku, then you'll see that he's not the kind of very greedy player that wants to play every game. He just wants a regular minute. It doesn't have to be all the game, because then they'll be like, there was a time they interviewed him and he was saying he's grateful for the minutes he gets, that he knows he can get more, but at least he's getting to play quite regular, even though he's not playing all the game, but he's grateful. So I think I like that about him. So if they realize that he made up his mind that he wants to leave, they will definitely want to sell him. But I think if we are able to make top 5, or make Euro next season, we will need.
Yeah, are you still there, Jude, or did we lose you?
Oh, no.
Okay, looks like it has a connection issue. And this is a prime example. It's Real Madrid's Turkish. Let me get that. Just give me 1 second. It's Real Madrid's Turkish youth. They bought a Turkish youth that they bought. He got that Real Madrid training and got injured at the start of the season. Real also have an extreme training program, just as Chelsea. I think that's what you're saying. Gallagher doesn't have a heart. He has a V8 hybrid. Chelsea Blue, how do you know? Let's see what else we have here. Thank you, Fawale. I appreciate that. People saying hello to each other. Kachila, someone said Chelsea had an option on a Maatsen contract for extension by 1 year. It better be. Otherwise, he's going for free. That may well be the case. I haven't checked. But yeah, whatever happens, I don't think he has much left on his current contract. Yeah, and Jeri Zee shares the link to the collab between him and Tabejo. Believe me, I know it will be delicious. But what I didn't expect, I knew moment I told Jeri to do that, he's going to write something that I have to read a lot. But I'm just joking anyway. Jeri here says, explore one of the most comprehensive analysis of Pochettino, a thought-provoking and inspiring discussion. Yep, I think you should go watch it. I can assure you, honestly, I'm not kidding. I know fully well that it will be delicious. Ty, did you say something?
Jeri Zee needs to invite me to his school, but the vocabulary that he uses.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Very
I need
articulate.
a promotion. Yes.
In a good way. Coach, go look up Gallagher's injury stats. It literally says no entries available. And it's a good thing. And I like that. Even again, that's considering the fact how much he runs whenever he's on the pitch. He hardly gets injured. And the managers like that. Let's see what else we have here. Gula. Okay, was that Gula that he was referencing? The zombie fanatic, nice to see you, brother. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Good evening, big bro from another mother. I'm back. Opo Chikaze Oscar, nice to see you back. My in-law, I hope you're doing well. Coach, it's simple now. If you don't sign, you go. Especially if you are a carbon player, you will just be propped up profit. I think I agree with you. There's a pattern, and I'm glad we've been paying attention. It just seems as if any player that indicates to any certain measure that they want to leave, they don't waste time in selling that particular player. But if you want to stay, they want to keep you. A prime example, Conor Gallagher, because they had an offer on the table. Yeah, he's a prime example. Beautiful wants to jinx Gallagher stats. I don't think he changes. The kid has 9 lives, and I hope he stays that way. Please sell who? He must not come back to Chelsea. I don't think he comes back. But he's done us dirty. He did a Lukaku on us by publicly stating he wants to remain at Madrid, that he doesn't want to come back to Chelsea. Yeah, his valuation takes a hit the moment. A player's valuation takes a hit the moment if they make it public that they want to leave a particular club. I figured you were mentioning him. Nice to meet you as well, Coach. Nice to meet you too. Are we just meeting? I think I've seen you here, brother, before. But if we're just meeting today, I appreciate that. Welcome. Feel at home. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil. Express yourself, and your opinion matters here. Let's see what else we have here. What is the update this time, bro? Quite a lot. We've talked about quite a lot, and we're talking about Trevor Chalobah and Ian Maatsen, their Chelsea future. Unfortunately, Chalobah's case, the fact that he pushed to join Madrid, that made me realize the club will look to sell him because he doesn't look like he's up for the competition. He wants to leave. I would have loved him to stay. If I were the coach, he'd be started over one of our players. I'm not going to mention names, but that's by the way we move on. Kunku is going to feel like a brand new signing at Chelsea. It's practically a brand new signing as Chelsea picked up his injuries so early and in the preseason and hasn't actually played any serious game for Chelsea. So yeah, he will come in and he will seem as if he just signed a new player. I don't know if anybody else on the panel want to add to that. I think I agree with you. Even though there's nothing too serious to talk about there, but it makes sense. He hasn't played any serious competition for us. Once he comes in, and let's be honest with yourself. You hardly talk about him. Yeah, I think one of the things where we were actually picking, and we forgot that he's actually a trusted player right now. But that's by the way. Anybody else on the panel want to add to that before we move on?
Yep.
All right, then we'll move on. It doesn't like what else do they have here? Something else here. This is interesting. Infinite Athlete Boss Charlie Iverson on Todd Bowley. Take when Todd Bowley bought the Los Angeles Dodgers in professional baseball in 2012. The Dodgers had what word is that? Astrophied or astrophied? I don't even know how to pronounce it. To the point of not
Atrophied.
being astrophied. Okay.
Atrophied. Yeah, it comes from the word
Okay.
atrophy.
At the point to the point of not being able to do anything, and now they are a perennial playoff contenders. They are constantly in the conversation for the World Series. He's not looking at a 3, 6, and 9-month increment at Chelsea. He's looking at decades of ownership, and you can say dominance. And I've always appreciated that about him. That's according to the Infinite Athlete Boss. Here's the thing: I've always seen the vision. I'm not part of the group, but I've taken my time to look at what they're trying to do and see. Yeah, they mean well, and they you can say, but the start to their ownership has been chaotic. But you can say things are starting to fall into place, and if you pay attention, I think the future is bright. And I'm going to say something I've said before. I get it. We will suffer, and I think the suffer for me it won't be
We have
long.
to suffer. Conte
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah, the future will be so bright that you'd need glasses to look at it. It will take time, and I'm all for it. Honestly, I wanted once it clicks, Chelsea will dominate for a while. I've seen, yeah, you can't just. It doesn't make sense to look at an owner who spent billions, and they've also agreed because I'm quite sure somebody convinced the ownership to sell. You can say nearly the whole team, and some of the newly signed players actually to sign an entire, you can say, to start building, to sign afresh. Somebody convinced them to do that, and they agreed to do that. And that's why everything was spent, you can say, totaling close to $1 billion. But you can say we have to be honest here and deduct how much we've made from player sales. But I get it. People are just into saying, yeah, we spent $1 billion plus without deducting how much we've made from sales. The truth remains they mean well. They have good vision. And yeah, we've signed some talent. It will take time, but we'll get there. I don't know if anybody else on the panel want to add to this. Jeri, I know you're eager to speak, but let's hear you.
Yeah, I am definitely eager to speak. So there are two sides of the coin in this article, right? Especially if we just specifically talk about what's written here and how this ambassador came and discussed. It's nothing but a PR stunt, Not at all. I'm taking any away from it. Of course, there are facts. But the thing is, right now at this position, I'm closely monitoring their PR since the last 3 weeks, and they are very clever, how they're handling things and how they are communicating with the fans. So although this is a fact, but again, when we analyze stuff, when we analyze data, and when we analyze stats and all these things that have already transpired and have happened in the past, this is an American model and it's baseball, right? So we cannot just take this model and paste it on the Premier League and on football and assume that everything will work. Having said that, there is no doubt that the intent of the owners is very positive. They are here, or they want to be here for a long run. And what they have done is definitely thorough analysis. The recruitment and the whole model, the financial structure, the salary caps showed a lot of professional work being done. It showed a lot of effort and it showed a clear plan. So this is all positive. The only, you can say, criticism, and I'm very positive about this whole project. So the only
because I was going to ask you, does that mean you don't trust the process anymore? But go ahead.
I do. My initial narrative was just trying to say that what worked in the US in baseball doesn't mean that it will work. I'm just saying that, right? So the other thing is that the only criticism is that They should have been more clever, in my opinion, as I've learned from you to use this word, right? In my opinion, they should have been more clever in the last summer window with the acquisitions, because they should have done a little bit differently. Even if they had this youth model, they should have bought some experienced players. That's all I'm saying. It cost to this, you can say, a difficult route. They could have made this an easier or a better transition. So I'm very positive, and hopefully moving forward, as Fabrizio Romano reported a couple of days ago, if Pochettino will be handed the power to a greater extent, then I think it will
And
be.
better off people say more power, because you cannot tell me that he's not being part of the discussion with regards to what players were signed and what players we didn't sign. For instance, we were told he was the one that told them to let the Ugarte pursuit go, to forfeit the pursuit of Ugarte, that they shouldn't pay that much money for him, in my opinion. And suggestions are he was the one that you could say that you could say rumors are were at the time he was the one that said he wanted Nicholas Jackson. So maybe, I don't know. It's confusing, really, but go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll never know all these things like that. They are so all these reports contradict each other on and off, right? But as I said, I've already summed it up. So we have to see. We have to wait and see. The intent is definitely over there. The intent is positive, but they have to be clever. I don't really agree with the investment or the acquisition they had. Personally, I don't agree. I believe, apart from the injuries, this is also the reason why we had a difficult start, because of buying or shuffling and selling or loaning almost all the team and buying a new team. I think this was done very, very abruptly. I think they should have made it a little bit smoother with all this transition, and that is the only criticism. But eventually, I think it should work. But there's of course there is no guarantee in life in football.
Yeah, and here's something I want to say quickly before I give those in the chat the microphone and hear whether Jude, a lot of people has to say something. What I want to say is this: I get it. Some people always reference the baseball model, but it's common sense to look at. We have a structure in place. We have a structure in place. Footballing minds in every, you can say, every where they should be at the club. Everything is streamlined properly right now. To me, I'd just say, in terms of the baseball model and the football model, what they have in common is it's a long-term process, and they're adapting the long-term process the way it will work in football. They're not stupid. And I'm gonna always say something I've always said to people, if you've been listening to me, is that I get it. These guys didn't. I get it. They've made mistakes, but these guys did not become billionaires by being dumb. They're smart, and that's why they've hired footballing people. They have people. You can say, I don't know how else to phrase it. I think they have good intent, and they've learned from their mistakes. And the prime example that shows you that they've learned from their mistakes. Graham Potter was on a 300-year contract, wasn't he? But Mauricio Pochettino says 2+1, 2-year contract with an option to extend it to a third. So they've learned. They're quick learners, and that's why they're billionaires. If you get my opinion, and I'm happy with the people they've hired so far. I'm happy with the recruitment. I get it. Winning now means, the signings should be a mix of lots of experienced players and youth in total. But I think I've come to terms that it's a long-term project, and we are where we are today. And I expect us to do even better. I trust that. How well we would do come the end of the season, I don't know. But let me catch up with what we have in the chat here. I cannot cross my fingers. What do you do if you don't do that? We want to hear you. While Coach Cobham kids, they're taking a beating. I blame Mason Man for that. You could argue that. The beautiful game is spreading love to JC. Let's see. Yeah, possibly. Let's see. Trident. If we keep banging them in, and Nkunku will have to fight Gallagher for his starting place. You could say that. Not just Gallagher. Nkunku, his thing, as good as he is, if we start firing on all cylinders before he comes back, he would just be like. I don't know, I'm quite sure a lot of you have heard me say this before. He's just part of the solution. He's not the sole solution to our problem. In his absence, we've created quite a lot of chances. The only thing is just that we've not been clinical. He comes, he makes us better. That's how I see it. But that's by the way, we move on. This says once Nkunku comes back, we'll see. I don't recognize my club, DT Drogba. I get it. I think he will change his stance. Samson Wright, who told him to get injured. Ben Jacobs sounds like Wenger saying Nkunku will feel like a new signing, but it makes sense. The zombie fanatic, if we're being honest here, it makes sense that he hasn't played any serious game for us, just preseason games. So if he comes back, it's more like a new signing for us. But I get where you're going with that. Happy Nkunku is fit against Arsenal. No, he will not be fit against Arsenal. Nkunku will not be fit to play until December. Parma, Arsenal could collect Woto. Yeah, let's see that happen. It's not going to be easy, but one thing that gives me confidence is this. When Arsenal, if they've won 999 games and the 1000 game will be against Chelsea, usually it's not easy. And the case is vice versa. We'll be winning and winning and winning. Once it gets to Arsenal, we'll falter. I hope that's the case at this come the 21st of October 2023. Let's see what happens there. Just give me a second here. This says Sterling must be benched. Let's see what the manager does. Only difference is that being bad gets you the best young players in world football. That's another way. Oh my gosh, that's another way to put it. International matches not fit Chelsea players because yeah, we have too many internationals. So the international break doesn't favor us that much. It's not like I get it. Some people would say the manager now has the time, will not have the time to drill the players to start playing the way he wants them to play. But the truth is, yeah, majority of our starting players are currently on international duty for their respective countries. And nice to see you again, Michi boy. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Again, once more, share the link to your YouTube channel. And if you haven't, please click on the three dots to the right of his name and go check out his YouTube channel and subscribe. Arsenal go collect Woto. Let's see if that happens and I'll take it. Once more here, Ty, to see if you don't make mistakes, you will not learn. And I believe these our new owners are learning from their mistakes. They're quick learners, in my opinion. Let's see what else we have here. Chelsea fans all over the world, don't forget to go with tissue next weekend because Arsenal fans are definitely gonna need it. I hope that becomes the case on that day, because they are gonna see from Chelsea they're no good believe them. I hope so. And please go check out Ty's YouTube channel. I've read that before, but again, he has shared the link to his YouTube channel. Let's go check it out. Let's follow this up with this one here, the last item we have lined up. So if you have any questions, shoot it in the comment section and we will try to address it. This says Infinite Athlete boss Charlie Iverson on choosing to sponsor Chelsea. It was a very decision to choose Chelsea, a very easy decision to choose Chelsea. Look at the investment that they've made in the academies, the type of investment that they've made in scouting, the type of investment that they've made, and understanding of value players. I'm sure is that mixed up. It's remarkable. They went from just about the oldest team in the Premier League to the youngest. If you look at the expected points in every match, they are the only team in the Premier League who has had a higher expected points in every in every match.
So here we go.
That is a very. I'm just saying that. That's
even
a very,
the sponsors are using statistics, so you can see it is so relevant.
Yeah, we know that. I'm not suggesting otherwise, but my point here is that that's a very, very American way to put it. The language he's using, but that's, by the way, that's besides the point here. Imagine we beat Arsenal. Wow. Yeah.
Of course, we will beat Arsenal. Special. We are Chelsea. We should not have any doubts.
Yeah, we shouldn't doubt our ability to. I was against their decision making initially, but I think I am beginning to stand on the same ground with them. I think I'm with them also. Up Chelsea, don't forget to like and subscribe. A lot of people message. Let's hear your thoughts on everything. The Infinite Athlete boss has said. What do you make of it?
Yeah. Thank you very much. First of all, we should remember that Todd Boehly cannot even sell Chelsea. He has to own it for at least 10 years. So based on the contract he signed while he was buying the team. But for me, I think everybody makes mistake. Even the Roman Abramovich. If you look back then, sacking of Ancelotti was a very silly mistake. So people make mistake, and um, Todd Bowley has been following Chelsea for a very long time. He attempted to buy Chelsea from Roman, even when there was no sanction. So it wasn't like he just came from nowhere, and he's been following Chelsea. I don't know about Ekbali, but the Todd Bowley has been
2019 to be specific.
yeah, he's been following Chelsea for a very long time. So I think he will do. I think he will be very successful. He has good plans. That's what matters. Compared to the guys in Manchester United, Todd Bowley have good plans for the team. Yeah, he might have made some mistakes, and like you said, he's learning from it, and we are seeing signs that he's learning from it. Because if you look at it now, um, how do you explain somebody investing a lot of money into a team if it doesn't mean well? That is one thing Manchester United could not do then. And even when they had to do it, they were just overpaying players for nothing. So, and they took loans on the team. Bowley is not doing anything like that. Recently, he got investment of about 400 million pounds into the team. So, I think he means well, and I see him being successful at the long run. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
Coach?
so much. I appreciate that. Let's say you Ty, were you saying something?
Yeah, it was in relation to what you just said, and also what the infinite athlete boss has said here. Yeah, I mean, in terms of all the factors that you have to take into consideration, yes, you can see and you can understand where he's coming from as well, because yes, it's a frustrating process, it's a long process, it's going to be one, and I can understand the sentiment that Jeri Zee shared about the fact that if you want to build something long term, you get some younger players in and then you build with them, but also you need the experience. I think that if he had more experienced players, he would have made the output that you see on the pitch better, because you'd have more experience there. You'd have players you wouldn't only have players who are young and inexperienced. So certain aspects of their game would be challenged. They'd be able to perform better, and you'd also have the team in general performing better with experienced players. But the positive from it is that you have these players that could potentially get better, and you have them in their raw state. You develop a sort of sentiment between them as well. There's connection, there's chemistry that is built for years, rather than having players who are 28 and then they perhaps leave in 2 3 years and go elsewhere. So in a sense, there are positives to having a younger team, because there's players even now who haven't really joined the club officially. There's one like Whisper who's going to be joining the club soon. You have Kendrick Pays who will be or Pies, I don't know how to pronounce his name, who will be joining the club in 2 years when he turns 18. So there is a lot of aspects where you look at these young players that yes, the project is gonna be frustrating, it's gonna require you understanding that we have a lot of young players, and there will be experienced players brought in as well to help with the fold, and that is one reason why Sterling was brought in. So in a sense, we'll have to accept that yes, we have these young players, and yes, we will cry for more experienced players. But the positive to having these young players is that it builds something for the future, and it's something that you can have consistency there, because it's going to be the same young players who have built up for years to come. Use Hazard for example, got him at 21 and he left at 28. So in a sense, you got to see him progress, and every season he gave something more and more and different. So yes, it's frustrating to have young players mostly, and as the point that the boss made in that statement, we went from being a very old team to a young one in the space of months. So yeah, we saw the advantages and the disadvantages of having that, but it's also a project that we have to accept will take time, and if you will succeed, you just have to stick with it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ty. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show, Jeri Zee. I cannot thank you enough. A lot of people miss Ole. Thank you so much, brother, for finding the time to join the show this afternoon. And it will be streaming more during this time of the day. And the Blue Morning Show will still be there, but except if I find a very you can say competent co-host who can I can say, okay, you host the Blue Morning Show today, and I'll host the evening show today. Yeah, we've designed lots of programs, but not able. I can't carry them all alone. Great word better. Let's see. Well, got to take care. You too, Constantine Dante. Please get better. I appreciate you finding the time to join. And we have a Star Slayer, a 344. Expected points is a fake and useless stat. How can I expect those points if I cannot get them anymore? That's hilarious. I know what you mean there. But that's by the way. Please. Why did Tane? What did Tane say? Do you have it about his future? He prefers Arsenal. And also likes Liverpool. Something to that effect. Do I think we'll sign him? I don't know. But thank you, Chikase. Thank you, Stat Slayer. Thank you, Constantine Dante. Much love to you. Thank you, Agile Yedikati. Thank you, Chelsea. Meet your boy. Much love to you. Thank you, Ty. Chelsea Sessions. Go check out his YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. Thank you, the Blue Tiffle Game. And thank you, the Zombie Fanatic. Thank you to all of you, Namaya Fawale, all of you in the chat. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and bye.